So, my teacher thinks Tupac somehow knew Keefe D would snitch 28 years before it happened. It had been a largely uneventful lesson, with Mr. Lawson wrapping up a session on government mandate regarding mental health care leave in the government sector. He was finishing his explanation, pacing in front of the class as he spoke. So, as you can see, this new mandate allows government employees to take additional mental health leave under specific conditions, he said, gesturing towards the whiteboard. It's an important step towards ensuring workplace well-being and something that, well, actually, that's probably enough for today. He glanced up at the clock, realizing the lesson was basically over. Alright, I think we'll wrap it up here. He scanned the room, then turned to Ibrahim. Actually, Ibrahim, I need your help with something, he said, folding his arms. You listen to hip-hop, right? He asked, half apprehensive, half inquisitive. Ibrahim was taken aback, but at the same time amused. He half chuckled at the prospect of what Mr. Lawson was going to ask, and had a cheeky grin on his face. Yes, sir, I do. What can I help you with? Mr. Lawson took this as his license to go ahead and jumped straight into what was on his mind. So, I was listening to the new Tupac track last night. Ibrahim's face immediately switched from comically amused to absolutely confused. New? Yeah, it's a new fresh one. Dropped a couple of weeks ago. And it's wild because in the track, Tupac is straight up calling Keefe D an idiot for snitching on himself. A few students perked up. Mia, sitting next to Ibrahim, raised an eyebrow. Wait, what? Yeah, Mr. Lawson continued, oblivious to the side eyes forming around the room. He's talking about how Keefe D basically confessed years after the fact. So I was thinking, how did Tupac know? There was stunned silence in the room. Like, in 1996, how did he know that Keefe D would snitch on himself? And that he'd do it in 2024? Ibrahim blinked. Sir? Think about it, Mr. Lawson pressed on, pacing now. Not only did he know, but instead of stopping it, he just wrote a rap song about it. Was he like, yeah, I could warn people, but honestly, this would slap harder as a track? Mia put her hands on her head. Oh my God. Ibrahim groaned. Sir, no, please, don't do this. But Mr. Lawson was undeterred. And here's what really gets me, right? Tupac obviously couldn't release the track back then because, you know, he's not a snitch. Dead silence. Mia slowly looked at Ibrahim. Ibrahim, gripping the edge of his desk, looked at Mia. Sir? Ibrahim began, trying to keep it together. You're telling me that you think Tupac wrote this song before he died, but kept it hidden because he wasn't trying to snitch? Exactly, Mr. Lawson pointed at him, nodding. He wouldn't even snitch on the guy that ended up killing him. That's how committed he was to not snitching. Mia exhaled and leant forward, steepling her fingers. So, just so I understand what you're saying, she took a breath, her tone teasing but undeniably condescending. You think Tupac told the producers to not release this track until Keefe D got arrested? Is that what you think? Yes, Mr. Lawson said, delighted that someone was finally getting it. Mia nodded slowly, absorbing it. Right. And the reason this song only came out now is because... That's what I'm trying to figure out, Mr. Lawson threw his hands up. Like, who's been sitting on this? Maybe there was some kind of trigger clause that allowed it to come out now. Ibrahim put his head in his hands. Sir, it's AI. The song isn't real. It's fake. A machine made it. What? Mr. Lawson frowned. No, it sounds just like him. Voice, flow, everything. You guys should listen to it. Oh my god. Ibrahim clutched his head like he was about to explode. Why don't you get it? Do you honestly think Tupac travelled to the future, figured out Keefe D would self-snitch, recorded a diss track about it, and then didn't release it because of ethics? He pointed wildly at Mr. Lawson. Sir, how can you not tell it's not him? Mr. Lawson scoffed. I never said anything about time travel. Maybe he'd heard that Keefe D wanted to hit him, and he thought it out and just felt, 2024 would be the time, he'd eventually snitch on himself. And besides, the whole thing sounded exactly like him. Ibrahim practically shrieked, That's literally what AI does. It copies people. Nah, see, I don't buy it, Mr. Lawson mused, stroking his chin. Tupac was ahead of his time. He knew how this would play out. Mia exhaled sharply. So, just to confirm, Tupac heard in 1996 that there was a hit out on him, found out that Keefe D was the hitman, assumed that he'd get killed, and then, 20-something years later, that Keefe D would snitch on himself. And so Tupac wrote a song about it. Mr. Lawson started nodding excitedly. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Ibrahim dropped his head onto the desk. I give up, sir. I don't know how you can't get it. Confused, Mr. Lawson looked at Ibrahim. Get it? Get what? Ibrahim, on the verge of losing all composure, calmed himself and let loose. Oh my god, sir. I don't understand how you can't follow all of this. Tupac didn't know that there was a hit on him. He didn't write the diss track. Someone with all this information put it into AI last month and asked it to write a diss track as if Tupac was alive, and this is what happened. Bemused by Ibrahim's response, Mr. Lawson responded arrogantly. Look, you can believe whatever you want. It's a free country. Ibrahim could only manage to nod back, feeling completely defeated and demoralized. Just as Ibrahim regained his composure, the bell rang, putting him out of his misery. Mr. Lawson gathered his things. Great discussion today, guys. Really insightful, he smiled as he walked out. Ibrahim turned to Mia, exasperated. I don't know how he doesn't get it. It's basically self-explanatory. Mia shook her head in a state of amusement. Oh my god, I think I need mental health leave after this lesson. Some stories stay with you. If you're in the mood for another one that lingers, you know where to find it.